Hello, welcome back to the channel. We are continuing reading through the February 2021 edition of The Light, a truth paper, an online free paper. You can access this using the link in the description of this video. So we are currently on, let's have a look, page 13, and we're going to be reading this article under international news. India's uprising against the globalist food takeover, written by Yogita Mistry. National and international media have been heavily censoring what is now being known as the largest peaceful protest in the history of humanity, which started on November 26, 2020 in India. A staggering 250 million people from various industry sectors stood together in a united worker strike, approximately 20% of India's population. To put that figure into perspective, that's almost 4 times the population of the UK and 75% of the US population. The strike action was a response to the nefarious farm bills surreptitiously passed on the 23rd of September 2020, without debate, during India's brutal lockdown, in an attempt to pressure the Modi government to repeal the bills. The superficially benevolent bills threatened domestic and international food sovereignty, the livelihood of farmers, and accelerate the globalist takeover of the food supply, inextricably linked with Agenda 21 and the UN's Sustainable Development Goals. The one-day standoff has snowballed into what is now one of the largest uprisings ever seen on Earth. Massive inter-city encampments have formed at Singhu, Tikri and Ghazipur borders into Delhi, the main protest sites, with an estimated 345,000 farmers and protesters currently encamped, eating, sleeping, washing, praying, in what is now the winter season, with evening temperatures dipping to around 0 degrees. With roads and highways completely blocked going into the capital, farmers and cross-industry sector protesters are standing in absolute unity and solidarity, from teachers' unions to lawyers' unions. Sikhs, Hindus and Muslims alike, fighting for their lives and their livelihood. And it's growing. Thousands more each day from all over India march towards the capital, in solidarity with the farmers' protests to force the Indian PM to repeal these nefarious acts. The farmers have vowed to stay for as long as it takes for the laws to be repealed, as several months, even years. 40 have tragically lost their lives so far, including counts of suicide. India, the world's largest democracy, is currently 1 month into this unprecedented people's uprising and alliance around a single issue. In total, it is estimated that there are around 2 million people actively involved around India in protests against the government, to save the country and the constitution. None of the 500 farmers' unions were consulted in the passing of the bills, important stakeholders in the policy-making decisions. All 500 unions unanimously standing together in opposition to these farm bills. There have been 6 rounds of talks with farmer union leaders so far, but these talks have been fruitless. The farm bills at a glance and what they mean in real terms. 1. Farmers produce trade and commerce. Promotion and Facilitation Act 2020. 2. Farmers Empowerment and Protection Agreement of Price Assurance. And 3. Farm Services Act 2020 and the Essential Commodities Amendment Act 2020. Superficially, these seemingly benevolent laws aim to modernise and liberalise India's agricultural industry, but they have a nefarious underbelly. Realistically, it will put the power into the hands of large corporations, with zero allowance for court intervention to protect any violation of contracts and farmers' rights. They are essentially draconian bills to nourish billionaires under the guise of farmer welfare, which will eventually give corporations a complete monopoly on trade and agricultural produce, extinguishing farmers' minimum support price, to further impoverish them, which could lead to increase in farmer suicide as well as driving them off their land. In short, these laws will give corporations the power to stockpile, create scarcity, and drive prices, to buy low and sell high, potentially leaving ordinary people to struggle with everyday kitchen economics and increasing food poverty, to control land usage and dictate crop cultivation for export, at the exclusion of the domestic market, and hold all the bargaining power with peasant farmers. Monsanto's absolute control over seed and imposition of GMO crop pan-India will impoverish farmers furthermore. However, the ultimate goal is to displace 400 million from rural areas in India into smart cities. Make no mistake, these bills are integral to the globalists' Agenda 21 strategy and the Sustainable Development Goals they want in place by 2030. For land and food acquisition and the elimination of SMEs of any description, with the populace being beholden to megalithic, monopolistic corporations, same as everywhere else on earth. In response to counter the fake news, censorship and an excessively pro-government media narrative, Nav Kiran Nath, a young dentist and youth activist, has co-founded Trolley Times, an independent truth paper. Its name derived from the trolley, essentially the trailer of a tractor, in which farmers are currently encamped in. Their makeshift homes for the duration of the protest. Navrikan is currently encamped at Tikri and is the voice of the protest from the protest. It is becoming one of the fastest growing publications in India. How the world reacts to these protests is instrumental for all of our futures. India is blazing an inspirational trail for other countries to follow suit in protecting workers' rights, food security, and rising up in the face of tyranny. And at the end of the article here, I'll just show it on screen, is a couple of web addresses for more information. And one is www.trolleytimes.online. Okay, thank you very much. I hope you found that interesting. Hope you are well. Please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.